Hi students, Logan Phillips here, or Professor P, your guide to computers and technology. Today we're going to be working in the McGraw-Hill SimNet environment, specifically with Microsoft Office 2016 PowerPoint, and we're going to be completing the guided or the project 6-4. So let's go ahead and open up our project files, see what we should have downloaded so far from online, and get started. All right, so for this given project, you should have had several files you got from online. We definitely have some resources here. Don't forget to grab those and uncompress them. We have our instruction file, which is independent project 6-4. We have our start file, which is nutrition-06. We have a real text file of carbohydrates, a Word file of carbohydrates 06, and an Excel document of calories 06. So we're going to be linking documents and probably creating some slides from outlines if I had a guess. So let's go ahead and close that, open up our instruction file, and see what kind of outcomes we're going to be doing today. So for this project, we're going to be covering several different skill sets. We're going to create slides from a Word outline. We're going to work with multiple PowerPoint windows. We're going to use a paste special to embed an object. We're going to modify an embedded object. We're going to reuse the replace command. We're going to create a custom slideshow. And then we're going to hyperlink to that custom slideshow more than likely inside of our presentation. So a lot of this is built off of the same stuff we did in project 6-1 with a particular piece of the embedded object. Now, embedded objects are really, really nice because you can do things like link a Microsoft Excel document to your PowerPoint. And so every time you update your data in Excel, instead of having to go back in and update your PowerPoint, it will update automatically. And so that's probably what we're going to be doing with today. And so let's open up our start file, see what it looks like to begin with. Make sure you hit your enable editing button. And so on the very first step, I know I'm going to have at least 3 custom slideshows because I got 3 custom slideshow buttons on the left-hand side. We start off with about 21 slides, and they're pretty decent looking, nothing too big. It looks like we need to be putting in something here. So more than likely that's going to be our embedded objects, and everything else seems to be pretty straightforward. So this shouldn't be too difficult of a project. So let's go ahead and save this to our file background, our file backstage view. File save as. We're going to choose our desktop by going browse desktop, leave the name the same. Of course, if you've been watching my videos since the beginning of this presentation or for any of my classes, you know I do that to save myself some steps at the end. All right, on step 2, we're going to add slides from a Word outline. So let's go and click on slide 13. And we're going to choose to Home tab, Insert Slides, and we're going to do Slides from an Outline. And we're going to select the carbohydrates 06 from the resources. So I know my resources are on my desktop. I'm going to find that carbohydrates 06, and I'm going to choose to insert. And once that's done, it looks like we have inserted a few new slides here. I'm thinking a little bit. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 slides, giving us a total of 26 slides altogether. So we've done step 2 now. Let's move on to step 3. We're going to update these slides layout. So I'm going to come over to my slide sorter view real quick because it's just easier. I can see here, if I highlight, scroll down, I got slides 14 through 20 or so that it looks like I imported. So let's go display slide 14. Let's go click on slide 14. We're going to go to our Home tab, our layout grouping, and we're going to change this to a section header layout. And we also need a reset so that our text and stuff match our themes. So let's go ahead and reset that. And we're going to select slides 15 through 18. And we're going to reset these slides as well. All right, we are now on to step 4. We're going to paste special to embed an Excel chart and modify the embedded object. So let's go ahead and open up the Excel file, calories 06, that we downloaded from online. This is one of the resources we're using. So we got Excel 06. We're going to make sure we enable content because we do trust what we got here. And we're on step 4B. We're going to select the bar chart. So we're going to select this whole chart here, not just the bars. We're going to hit Control C. And we're going to go to PowerPoint and select slide 6. So back in PowerPoint, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to double click slide 6, bringing me back to my regular view. And I'm going to Control V, and I'm going to paste special here. If you paste Control V, it will screw up. So I'm going to come up to my Home tab, paste grouping. I'm going to paste a special, and I'm going to choose to paste a Microsoft Excel chart object, which should be the first one. We're going to hit OK. Now what this is going to do is going to link the Excel document to the PowerPoint. So if I change my Excel document, it will update my graph here if I change my data. And then my graph will update, which will automatically update my PowerPoint. So it means one step, multiple sheets. Very, very helpful. Okay, so we've done step 4. We are now down to step 5. If you did receive an error during this process, more than likely it's because you did not uncompress your documents for your resource file. Make sure you go in, grab your resources, and pull them out of that zipped file. So for step 5, we're going to modify this object that we've selected here. We're going to increase the chart size to a 5 by going to Drawing Tools, Format, Height of 5. We're going to double click the chart to open the Excel ribbon. So if we double click this, we now have a sort of Excel light opening up. I can bring it over from my other screen here. There we go. We have an Excel light opening up. And I'm going to modify that height again here in just one second. Open it up a little bit wider so I can see everything. All right, so from our Excel light, we're going to double click the chart, open it up, and on step 5C, we're going to click text on the left of the chart to apply the y-axis titles and apply bold. So text on the left-hand side, this is the y-axis, which is up and down. We're going to go to our Home tab and hit on bold. You can see that my PowerPoint presentation is updating automatically. Then we're going to come over to the x-axis titles, the ones that run across the bottom, and we're going to hit those as a bold as well. We are down to step 5E. We're going to click off the chart to return to the PowerPoint. So let's go ahead and close this. And we can see here that I accidentally resized the chart. So I'm going to come back up to step 5A and just resize this back to a height of 5. All right, on step 5F, we're going to center this chart. So we're going to come to Drawing Tools, Format, Arrange Grouping, Arrange in the center. Next, let's open it back up to the Excel document, and we're going to close these out without saving anything. There we go. So notice that everything's a little bit bold, a little bit better looking. Everything's as we are supposed to be. We're going to go to step 6 now. We're going to use a replace function. So I don't want to read through every one of these words. Inside the human brain, reading things repetitively, we miss stuff. We scan over words too quickly, and so we can miss all kinds of stuff. So we're going to let the computer do it. I'm going to come back up to slide 1. I'm going to come over to my Home tab, my Replace grouping, and I'm going to find and replace a few different things. I'm going to type in the U.S, or U period S period, and I'm going to replace it with the United States. I want to spell out United States. Now, I want this to match exactly as I printed in, and I'm going to go ahead and replace all. And it looks like U.S should have a space between the dot and the S. So let's try that again. There we go. We got 5 replacements. So if it didn't replace anything, type U period space S period instead of U period S period. Hit OK, and we can go ahead and close this. We've done step 6 at this point. We're now on to step 7, and we're going to create some custom slideshows. And so remember what we talked about in the earlier projects. You have this giant conglomerate of PowerPoint presentations really in here. But certain groups, you really only need to show a few different slides to. Instead of jumping around between all of those different slides, we can create custom slideshows for specific audiences. So let's go up to our slideshow tab. We're going to go into our setup grouping. and we're going to set up a custom slide, in the start slideshow grouping, and we're going to do a custom slideshow dropdown. We're going to choose the custom shows, and we're going to hit on new. So for this custom show, the title is going to be Dietary Guidelines, no period, and we're going to choose a few slides, 2 through 13. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Making sure you select all of those 2 through 13 and slide 25. And let's go ahead and add those to this presentation. All right, let's hit OK, close that out. And then we're going to repeat this for a new one. So let's do a new. And this slideshow is going to be called Carbohydrates. Make sure you spell things correctly because it will screw up and grade you incorrectly if you don't. And for whatever reason, I am having a horrible time spelling carbohydrates, which is surprising since I love them so. And this is going to be 14 through 20. And hit OK. Or add. OK. The next new one is going to be called Farm to Table. Making sure to uppercase that T in table. No period. It's going to be slides 21 through 25. And add. OK. And we're going to close this because we now have all of our individual ones. All right, we're now into step 8. We're going to hyperlink to 3 custom shows. So in slide 1, we have these placeholders here for dietary guidelines, carbohydrates, fibrates, and fat, and farm to table. I want people that are looking at this either online or a kiosk to be able to click on these and go specifically to those slides. So let's click on the placeholder for dietary guidelines, and we're going to right-click it, go hyperlink, and we're going to do a place in this document, and we're going to choose custom shows dietary guidelines. And we want to make sure that they show and return. So once they're finished with the presentation, I don't want them to go into the next slide. I want them to come back to this particular slide. And so we're going to hit OK. We're going to repeat this process for carbohydrates and fat. Right-click, hyperlink, go down to carbohydrates and fat, show and return, and farm to table. Right-click, farm to table, hyperlink, farm to table, show and return, and OK. All right, let's go ahead and test these hyperlinks. So we're going to do this in presentation mode. And so if I click on dietary guidelines, it should bring me to the dietary guidelines. Click through it. Looks pretty good. And once I get done with it, it should bring me back. There we go. Carbohydrates and fat. Click through it. Brings me back. Farm to table. Click through it. Brings me back. There we go. Now we hit escape to get out of that. It looks like we have done steps 8 at this point. So on step 9, we're going to select the cube transition and apply to all. Again, I always like to do this in the slide 1. We're going to go to Transitions tab. We're going to cube this out. So let's do a drop down in the transitions to the slide and find cube. And I know other people can find these very quickly. I can never do it. And we're going to choose apply to all in the timing grouping. So now if we look at our presentation, we open it up, should cube into place, dietary guidelines, go to each of those individuals, brings me back to the beginning. I think I actually clicked too far. There we go. And so those work. Escape that. All right, at this point, we are good to save. So if yours looks like this, it has the 3 guidelines hyperlinked. It has the inserted on slide 6 of the Excel document with bolded tops X and Y axis. And you should have a grand total of 26 slides at this point. So 1 through 26 and those few modifications. We're going to go File, Save. We're going to close it out, upload for grading, and you're good to go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. You can reach me by phone at 918-595-7485. Send me an email, which is always the best, at logan.phillips1@tulsacc.edu, or come to my office at A132 at the Northeast Campus Facet Center. Guys, I'm Logan Phillips, or Professor P. I hope you had a very good time, learned a few things. If you need anything, let me know. Have a very fruitful day. Bye, guys.